Welcome to Muffin News with your host, Muffin.
And welcome back to Muffin News. It has been a little bit, and there's been, unfortunately, some budget cuts. But don't worry, because this season of Muffin News, though we've had to cut the budgets just slightly, we've been able to add new segments. So that's going to be coming for next week. But this week, we actually have our power rankings. So the power rankings will be done by Muffin on the field, talking about your teams, especially. I can't talk tonight. That's why we have other Muffin doing the power rankings, because at this point, apparently I am drunk. Anyway, that's enough talking for me. I'll get into the rest of what I wanted to say later once I stop drinking. Over to you, Muffin. Well, thank you, Muffin. It's so good to be back. I hope you get your drinking under control just a little bit this season. But as you know, we are bringing the parent-teacher conference. Yes, my children, come here. You're a little bit trouble. We're going to have to talk to your parents about what you drafted. So this was all these opinions are by myself, Kayla, and Aga. I'm giving you my first prime reaction, so that I haven't really looked at any of the teams, whereas Kayla and Aga have actually written stuff down. I'm just freeballing it, but before we get into any of that, it's very important that disclaimer, this is made for fun, and we're here for entertainment purposes. If you have any issues, suck it up. It's Pokemon. It's not that serious. Guess what? There's no money involved. There's no bitches involved, because let's be honest, we're all going to be lonely for the rest of our lives considering we play Pokemon. Realistically, if you get offended, go touch some grass, hug your mum, hug your dog, hug a random stranger. I don't really care. I don't know. Anyway, if any issues, honestly, out of the play department, we'll take care of it. Now, as I mentioned before, we have me giving some opinions called the Muffin Man. We have Kayla, the Throat Goat. Aga gave Kayla that nickname, and I have many questions, and I'm quite concerned. And then Aga, the best thrower and worst battler. Yeah, no, that pretty much sums up Aga quite nicely. All right, let's go to our first team. First, we have Hellfire, the Punisher. So, their team consists of Ho-Oh, Dragapult, the Stupid Turtle, Terra Hisuian Gudra, Terra Jolteon, Toxapex, Lando T, Bronzong, Calyrex, which is useless, and Cosmon, which is useless. Basically, the last two would never come to a battle. If they come to a battle, it's free kills. Kayla has said to the team, OMG, Terra Gudra is fun. Not for us. Very well-rounded to me, though I don't like relying on 8 mons like a B/B pass. And to be honest, that's fair enough, because like I said, the last two you're not really using at all. We could have combined those 2 points and get a really cool 2-pointer, like Kricketune or Quickatoon. Compared to Aga's point is Speed Gap is huge from Jolteon base 130 to Lando's 91. Also, your only removal is the Turtle, and while Double Steel does make up for the lack of Fairy, I'm not really sure about it, as Zong has its issues and can also be chipped easily. Still, A-. With that point there, good point. The only removal being the Turtle will get you in a little bit of trouble, especially considering some of these teams you'll see later are quite stally and has it heavy. In terms of the speed gap, realistically, you'll be scarfing your Lando 9 times out of 10, which could become predictable in the future, and you do have to be really careful of that. In terms of my opinions on this team, look, you got a Ho-Oh that never dies. Your team is just full of Pokemon that never die. You got a slight regen core. Hisuian, Gudra, and Jolteon are two of fantastic Terra Captain. Toxapex can come as a very unsurprising. It can be Toxic Spikes. It can be Toxic. It can be full-on offensive. You never know. And Dragapult being a double physical and special attacker, always got to be careful of that. Overall, it's a really good team. It's a really good team. Next up, we have Aga, the best thrower. Kayla said bad F. Aga has said trash Z. My opinions, honestly, it's not even, I can't even put an alphabet letter to this team. It is horrible. It is horrendous. It is probably the worst team I've ever seen in my life. If I was if I had a gun to my head and I was told to give one compliment about this team, I could not do it. I'd rather them shoot me twice just so I could die and then die again so I could go to super hell after witnessing this team. Terrible. I don't know what you're thinking, Aga. Please go seek some help. Next up is Ditto the Jonah, aka the reason we have something called the Ditto Clause, where if Ditto takes too long, we literally just skip him, regardless of his timer. Aga has said by Sun, S++, and Kayla says Webs makes this team not fun, but without Webs, it's kind of meh. The Ubers are underwhelming. C as a team. My opinion, personally, look, Webs, not really needed. Spidops, Terra, never carrying that Spidops. Your two other Terra captains, though, Raikou and Articuno, pretty good. They actually get quite useful. Alamela as your Wisp Pasha, brilliant. Weezing as a fairy poison type, it's okay. If you are dealing with another opponent with T-Spikes, you're either sacrificing your Levitate or you're bringing Stun Tank, which, to be honest, both are terrible situations. In terms of your Ubers that you pick, Giratina Erotin form never dies, and Zamazenta holding an item does the killing. So you have a nice balance between I have not bulk to chip things down, so Zamazenta can come in late game and just murder. And if it's not Zamazenta, once again, you gotta be careful of the Raikou Calm Mind, and Articuno Terra is very threatening. The Terras are open Terra, so you can literally be anything at this point. So overall, I give this team, I give it a solid B+. Honestly, I haven't seen enough of what it could do, but you got some potential. You also got Donphan, I'm a big fan. Anyway, next we have Brooks the Staller. Honestly, already stall team, go fuck yourself, because why are you making us do that in Ubers? I hope that your computer crash burns, and I hope that you feel bad about yourself. Aga has said A+ and get the fuck out with your stall. Keller says yuck, like disgusting, A/A+, and I go A-. I go agree. It gives it an A+ and you can go fuck yourself. Their team consists of Zacian, Lugia, Garganacl Terra, Tingaloo, Rotom Sizzle, Appleton Terra, Hisuian Typhlosion, Kamala, and Chargebug Terra. Realistically, you're getting stalled out till the end game where Zacian can come in and clean up. That's pretty much that's their go-to. That would be their go-to. And if it's not Zamazenta cleaning you up, it's probably an offensive Lugia, because the Lugia's speed is 110 and it's completely based, meaning you're going to get thrown out by a Terra Garganacl and a Tingaloo with Rotom Wash as more defensive Pokemon. Pretty much any team that fights this is going to have a terrible time, would wish they would die, and I fight this week too, and I 100% I agree with that. I would rather eat dirt. Up next is Pug, who honestly, I think they had a 15-minute timer by the end of it. 15 minutes they had it for a timer. That's how amazing they are. Aga said S- or A++, really good fucking team, but speed tiers issues and only removal being Lug. Honestly though, Lug is brilliant, amazing. We love Lug. So also Glimmet might know Mortal Spin. Don't correct me on that if I'm wrong. Just let me live my fantasy dreams. Kayla says Boogie Oogies. Oh, this is like a game, but amazing. I'm scared. A. Honestly, the Uber they picked, brilliant Uber. The two Terra captions they bought, Avalog never died. Avalog Hisuian never died, especially with Terra. And Arcanine Hisuian, it does die, but you're gonna be having a hard time with it. And then you do have a slight regen call with Torn T and Glaring Slowpoke. I don't personally rate Torn T that highly. I've used it many times, and honestly, it sucks. Meowscarada, though, is a brilliant Pokemon. You gotta be careful of that Kyurem, and the last two, last three. Palisand, it's alright. You know, it's a ground type. It's something. And Samurott, anyway, overall, yeah, no, I give this team a good A+. I like this team. Then we have Fielder, Poisoner, with Palkia Origin, Weavile, Goldengo, Gliscor, Tentacle, Terra Lucario, Sylveon, Terra Talonflame, Alolan Dog Trio, Volbeat, and Kricketune. Egg says, really good team. I think you can change the Terras on Talonflame to something like Terra Sylveon or something else, as it and it's a lot more threatening. Other than that, definitely A-. Kayla says, fine. I think it's fine, but I don't think fine is good enough. C/C+. So we got some very different opinions. Personally, I've used Palkia Origin in a Uber League before, and that thing just murders. I loved it, even though you can't hold an item. I absolutely love that Pokemon. You got some good removal with Tentacle, Talonflame, and I think Volbeat might know Defog. Maybe it doesn't. Volbeat, most people look down on Volbeat, but it actually can do something. You have the actually two definitely threatening bug types, which I love. Alolan Dog Trio, I've never seen that Pokemon do anything, so it's an F, but you have a great Terra Captain in Lucario. I do agree with Aga. I think Sylveon would be a more threatening Terra Captain than Talonflame, but Talonflame, it can do the work. You have Gliscor, you have Goldengo, you have Weavile. Overall, a really solid team. Personally, I think this is a B+. That's my opinion. Up next, we have Kayla, the confused girl. Kayla says, your mom was confusing last night. A+ team and joke. Honestly, how dare you say that about my mother? My mother's a good working woman. How dare you? And Aga says, garbage, absolute utter trash, F. They have Palkia, Solgaleo, Grimmsnarl, Arcanine, Ogerpon, Golok Terra, Toxicity Terra, Primeape Terra, Blastoise, and Fortress. They got the removal, they got the screens, they got two base Pokemon. Honestly, overall, I'm giving this team a solid B. Solid speed tiers off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that. Overall, look, this team looks like it's going to be fun to use. Then we have Temple the Flare with the Sun team. They have Fluttermane, Great Tusk, Torkoal, Gouging Fire, Ogerpon Heartflame, Glade Terra, Taunt Eye, Shift Tree Terra, Duraludon, and Flareon. Egg says, really good Sun team, but other than Flutter, where's your special breaker? Your team is fully physical. no ground poison, and also 4 fire types and ground switch-ins. C+. Kayla says the team is too bright. Torkoal is so valuable, which is bad. C. To be honest, you don't actually have to always run Torkoal. You can always run the Prankster Taunt Eye with Sunny Day Heat Rock. If you do, you are kind of wasting it slightly with what it can do. I do agree with Ega. Your special attackers are Fluttermane, Duraludon, not really though, and Taunt Eye, which also it's more of a support Pokemon, I think. Overall, look, to be honest, if your opponent changes the weather on you, you're pretty much crying a little bit. Glade Terrors are fantastic. Shift Tree Terror is also really good. Personally, I think if you can, I'd add Venusaur. I'd get rid of something and add actually Terra Venusaur. I think Terra Venusaur would fit this team really well because it gives you the grounded poison type and still gives you growth plus chlorophyll to absolutely destroy most things. Also another special attacker because you desperately need one. So overall, I think I have to give this a C. I think I give this a solid C. It's a great Sun team. It's going to be annoying, but it doesn't do much else than that. Next, we have Prince the Bully Man. Edgar says, Absolute Cinema S++. Kayla says, what does this team do? What am I scared of? Val, Kirim, Val is tough, but this team feels bouncy. C. So their whole point of this team was evil Pokemon. And there's a Chansey. You could have had Terra Chansey to make it even more evil, but it is what it is. Grafaiai, I will never take seriously. Dumb Pokemon. You have 2 great KO captains in Donzozo and Arboliva. Ariados is a joke of a Pokemon. It's basically a waste. And your top 3 Pokemon plus Iron Valiant are all very, very powerful. Honestly, I'm excited for you to this season. I think you'll do great. And I gotta go with Ega. Absolute Cinema. Guess what? You get S+++ from me. Good work. Then we have Odin the Father. Our lovely, we've taken him from Terrakion. We've stuck him here to see how he goes. They have Lunala, Greninja, Terra Hydrapple, Garchomp, Clefable, Terrakion, Registeel, Weezing, Terra Cramorant, and Masquerain. Edgar says you'll need to work on your speed tiers, man, but this team is really good, though you have no removal besides Cram, and you snipe Grand for me, so B+. Kelly says Hydrapple, Lunala hates this team low-key. Nothing switches into Knock besides Clef, C. And to be fair, I don't agree. You have Terrakion. I'm pretty sure Terrakion knows Justified, which if you get hit by a Dark-type move, you get an attack raise. That can switch into knock off. Realistically, Registeel can also switch into knock off. Yes, you lose an item, but Hydrapple has Sticky Hold. Guess what? Switches into the item. So, personally, I actually really like this team. Terra Hydrapple, I think you have one of the best Terra captains you can actually ask for. Terra Hydrapple is absolutely insane, especially in a format where you're not limited to 3 types. Terra Cramorant is absolute based as fuck. And I think it will do really well in certain matchups. So already 2 great Terra captains. The support of those Terra captains, you have you can have defensive Chomp, you can have offensive Clev. Gren is always good at chipping things down. You have a lot of tools at your disposal. Yes, your speed tier is a bit wonky, but I think you have. I personally, I'd give it an A. I give this team an A. People might think that's crazy. I give it an A. Guess what? If you disagree with my opinion, fuck you. I don't care. And then I think last, but very not least. No, there's still more. Never mind. I'm like second last, or third last. I have no idea how many we've gone. We have me. Edgar's giving me an L. Kayla's giving me a crazy name. Thankfully, this team is an A, but actually no tanks is well on this day, B-. And Kayla, I say to you, I have Florges. That's the only tank I need. Florges is the best tank. And I have Zekrom. Zekron's basically a tank. Overall, my team's shit. I hate everything. I was the replacement coach for someone that missed like their first 4 picks, so I got basically the leftover Ubers. Yeah, I suck. I won't do anything. I won't go anywhere. I'm not even on the alphabet. I'm just nothing. I'm 0. And finally, we have Dwarfid, the returnee, coming back for another round. They had Chenpao, Zamazenta Crown, Petron, Iron Moth, Ursha Rapid, Terraditto, Gligar, Hisuian Slagood, Rabaska, Morgrim, and Gastrodon as a Terra Captain. I like it. Nega says I like it a lot. No removal, but it's fun, so cool. B-. Kevin says B/B+. The team looks not fun, but I have no clue who takes hits besides Gastro/Penge. And personally, honestly, I think your biggest issue is going to be the fact that the hazards. I think hazard stack is just too easy, especially when 2 of your Pokemon do not enjoy hazards. Meaning you're probably always running boots on Chenpao, and that Zamazenta is not going to enjoy spikes at all. And you're probably going to have to be running boots for the Iron Moth. So many Pokemon need boots, and it's not good. I think hazards are going to probably be your worst nightmare. In terms of the middle ground, I don't know what Hisuian Slugoodoos. I think Rosveska does have Revival Blessing, and Morgrim is Morgrim. I feel like if you take all 3 of those Pokemon, you can actually get a decent Pokemon that can actually do hazard removal. But despite that, very scary team, could do well. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna see C+. I think the hazard weakness is just too glaring. And that would be the power rankings for this season. I'll hand it over to Muffin to finish off. Wow. Thank you, Muffin, for that very insightful thing. So usually by this time, we have a tier list where I actually put you in like an A range, B range, C range, etc. However, Keldeo did not put their logos in. So because you don't put your logos in, you don't get that. So maybe next time, follow some instructions like you're supposed to, and maybe get some cool stuff. But before we wrap up, I'm just very excited to announce with Muffin News, we have a lot more segments coming your way, from recaps to pick'ems to weather with Chewy and so much more. So I hope you join me in all things Keldeo, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.